Hey guys, what's up, how's it going? My name is Robin. Welcome back for another dividend investing update on my Canadian-based portfolio with Wealthsimple Trade. In today's video, I'll give you guys the weekly update. I'll show you guys what stocks I'm going to be buying, and I'll show you guys our dividend payments and show you guys how our stocks have been doing over the past week. So if you guys do enjoy the video, remember to subscribe and like the video if you guys think it's awesome. So let's jump inside the portfolio. We'll take a peek at our stocks and let's see how Wealthsimple Trade Canadian-based dividend portfolio is doing. Alright guys, what's up, how's it going? Welcome to the Wealthsimple Trade stock portfolio. I'll give you guys a quick little update on our holdings. We'll talk about the stocks, I'll show you guys dividend payments, and then I'll show you guys what stocks I'm going to be buying. So a few things to cover today. Obviously, if you guys watched the last video and you've been paying attention, our stock market portfolio took quite a bit of a hit. Nonetheless, we're still doing okay, and we're going to just keep doing what we've always been doing, which is investing into stocks. Now really quickly here, there is this new thing. It looks like Wealthsimple did change the name of Canadian Share Owners Investment Incorporated to Wealthsimple Investments, which makes a lot more sense. So you guys, this doesn't really mean anything. It just means that they changed their name. So if you ever bought stocks or you transfer money to Wealthsimple Trade, you might have seen like transfer to share owner investments or something like that. It's now going to say Wealthsimple Investments, I would imagine. So that's a cool little notification that they let us know there. Not too much really going on there. But anyways, our portfolio is $106,000, $489 Canadian. Obviously, it did go down quite a bit, as you guys know. We have two different accounts. We have the personal account, which is $16,000, and the Tfsa are the two big ones. Tfsa just under $90,000. So this Tfsa did see a bit of a drop, as you guys have seen, as we were at one point approaching six figures, but it looks like we got down to a bit of a dip, and I did take some money out of the Tfsa as well recently to help pay for some of my taxes. Over the past day, the Tfsa is up $664, which is 1%, which means it looks like this morning we've seen a bit of a jump up. Over the past week, we are up 5% inside the Tfsa, which is kind of interesting. And then over the past month, we are down a negative 5%. So a little bit of up and down throughout the Tfsa. The past 3 months, we are down negative 2% as well. So overall, we're down quite a bit. But if we look at the 1 year return, we're up 7%, which is $6,000. And all time, we are up 12%. Sorry. So you guys can see right here on the graph, bit of a dip towards the end there. Actually, good little bit of a dip. We got a little bit of recovery, but we still have a long ways to go. And the portfolio is down quite a bit. We'll switch over to the personal account really quickly, which is more of our Canadian-based account. And I think it's more or less doing the same. We are up 1% today. Past week, it is down negative 1%. Past month, negative 4%. So a little bit of a drop over the past month for the personal account. Last 3 months is 2%. And 1 year return, which should be our all-time return, is around 7%. So it's still doing quite well, but even our Canadian stocks seen a bit of a dip as well. So both our portfolios are down. Nonetheless, we're going to keep investing and keep growing them because we do believe in the long-term value of growing these portfolios over time. Alright guys, so now that our taxes and everything are paid off, I can now start throwing basically all my free cash that I have, for the most part, other than when I need to save it for some expenses and stuff like that, towards my Tfsa. We're going to be maxing our Tfsa. That's going to be the first goal. I got about, I think it was about $5,000 or $6,000 I can put towards my Tfsa for the year. So the main focus now is going to be maxing out Tfsa. So I got about $500 I'm going to be putting in today. And the plan today is going to be more or less the same. I'm going to focus on our big holdings since the market overall is down. So the first main priority will be to max out to put some money into the ETFs. So if you guys don't know, if you guys don't watch this channel, the main ETFs I focus on is HYLD for a high income, small percentage of my portfolio. I've been looking to build that out, and we'll talk about that one in just a second here. The second one is VDY, which is our Canadian dividend / growth based stocks. A lot of Canadian dividend stocks, a lot of growth stocks as well in there. And then we have VFD, which is a US market growth, and that pretty much makes up a good chunk of the portfolio. And all three of them are down quite a bit. And if we have any money left over, I might put it into a stock or something. We'll have to take a quick little peek towards the end there and see what stock I might want to kind of buy. And before we go any further in the video, guys, I just want to do a quick little shout out to Inverse. If you guys haven't known, I've been using Inverse to do my stock research as well as to build a dividend investing group. If you guys aren't already signed up, check out the link in the description of this video. You guys can sign up to Inverse. It's completely free. And once you guys do sign up, be sure to check the group section. You guys can see I do have a dividend group where we post different things and you guys can comment and interact with me. It's a cool little community that we have growing. So if you guys are into that kind of thing, the social aspect of dividend investing, be sure to check that out. Once again, link in the description of the video. Now the first stock we're going to be focused on is going to be HYLD. So this is our high dividend yield ETF that we have inside our portfolio. The main purpose of this was to get some more kind of more higher passive income. And this is really like those covered call ETFs. I wanted to experiment with these. I wanted to buy some. I wanted to have a small percentage of my portfolio, and then over time I would slowly invest a little bit more and a little bit more in the portfolio once my portfolio kind of got to the growth of where I wanted it to be. So the focus in the early stages is more growth, kind of get that money higher, and then once the money starts to get higher, we slowly put some more into passive income so that I could benefit from the passive income. And mostly because these stocks have pretty high yields. The yields that HYLD is going for is around 10%. Now we have some inside of our Tfsa in our personal account. Our personal account is down -8% and our Tfsa is down 4%. Now keep in mind, I contacted Wealthsimple Trade about this. They don't report dividend returns and the stock returns. So if we go over to this page where we have each individual stock returns, here where it says -4%, that doesn't include dividend payments. So just kind of keep that in mind. I had to contact them about that. They don't include dividend payments in this return. It's just stock appreciation. But when you go up here and you look at the all-time return, dividends are included. So that's the message I got from them. So it's important to understand that. So if we go into HYLD, we can see here with the 10% yield. Now the stocks obviously is down a little bit. If we go all time, it's only been a couple months old. It started in February of 2022, earlier this year. So obviously it's only been a couple months. It is down 5%. So right now you could buy stocks, you could buy different ETFs, and buying an ETF like this, you could buy it for the stock growth, because you look at it like, well, it's down 5%, maybe it'll bump back up and you'll get 5% growth, maybe not. But the whole point with this fund is not really stock growth, it's about dividend yield. So the cool thing is, when the price of a fund like this goes down, you can buy the dividend yield and get a higher yield. So for example, if we look at the dividend payments over the last little while, it actually has a higher yield right now. It's actually sitting at that 10.94% yield, and this is because when the price goes down, you can buy more shares, get a higher return, right? And that makes sense. So it's always interesting on the different approaches you can take. And I'm not saying you got what stocks you guys should buy during this dip. I'm just showing you guys that there's different examples and there's different options for you. And I'm a big fan of kind of doing everything kind of in balance. So we're going to be buying some HYLD. I'm going to probably buy about, if we have $500, I'm going to kind of probably buy maybe about $100 of HYLD. So we'll put that through. Actually, I might buy a little bit more since I am focusing on building this up inside my portfolio, since we don't have a lot. So we'll buy $153 of HYLD. We'll put that order through. That'll go inside our Tfsa, and that'll help bring up our yield. And then the other ETF I want to focus on inside the Tfsa, it's going to be VDY. I haven't bought VDY for quite a while, and this is once again our Canadian fund. So we're going to put about, I think, $100 or so of VDY. And then the last fund we're going to be buying is VFE. And VFE is the S&P 500. And as you guys know, the US markets took a pretty big tank. I showed you guys in the last video how much they were down. And I'll just show you guys here really quickly. So over the past week or so, VFE is down 1%. So obviously a pretty big dip. And this is the S&P 500, so we can pretty safe about it, investing into it, buying the dips and having it growing. That's why I'm a big fan of buying good quality ETFs or good quality stocks, because you can feel comfortable about investing them during the downturn. The past 3 months it is down 7%, and if we just go really quickly and type in VFV on Google and we go 1 year-to-date return, we can see it's down 11%. So it's actually down quite a bit, double digits for the start of this year. And we still have a lot of year left, so we can't really predict what's going to happen. But even just buying it right now is going to be really good, because you can lock in that growth for when it eventually happens, and we can keep buying it at that cheaper price. So it's always going to be a good buy. When in doubt, if you guys ever need to buy anything and you're not sure what to buy the S&P 500. You can buy it in whatever ETF you want, version you want. There's a lot of different versions. I prefer VFE. It's easy to buy. It's straight in Canadian. You don't have to worry about it too much. So we'll buy about, I'm going to buy about 1 share of VFE. We'll put that through. And then the last little bit we're going to focus on a stock to buy instead of our Tfsa. And the stock we're going to be focusing on today is going to be a pretty solid stock. You can't really go wrong with it. Once again, good quality stock. And it's going to be CNR. I haven't bought CNR for quite a while, but I like CNR because it is kind of like that more growth-based company with a growth-based dividend. So they don't have a high dividend yield, but they do have a dividend, and they have tons of growth in terms of stock growth as well as dividend growth as well. So we kind of get that balance, right? So we get nice little growth. I do like to hold growth stocks inside my portfolio, but I also like to hold stocks with dividends, but I also like to hold stocks that have dividend growth as well. As you guys can see, my portfolio kind of has a little bit of everything, and that's just kind of how we do it. So I'm going to be putting about $100 into CNR, or we could just buy 1 share, which would be $152. We could do a fractional share. I'm probably going to we'll just buy one share, and then whatever we have left over we'll just save for another day to buy some more stock. So I'm going to buy about one share of CNR. CNR is just a good quality company. They've always done well. If we look at the returns for the 5 years, they're up 51%. And once again, this is predominantly a growth-based company, but they do have a good dividend growth. So they're growing that dividend pretty aggressively. So, in the long term, we can use that dividend to put it back into the company to get more shares, to get more growth, but also over time, as that dividend will grow, we'll increase our yield too for when we get older. So there's a lot of good things with this company, and I'm a big fan of it. We currently hold 4 shares inside of a Tfsa, which isn't very much. This is another reason why I kind of want to expand upon it, because I don't really own a lot of shares of CNR. So I'll buy one share today, and that'll be the main stock that I'm buying inside my Tfsa. And since we are experiencing a downturn, I think it'd be helpful to kind of give you guys a quick little overview of my portfolio. I haven't done this for a little while, so I'll just give you a quick little step-by-step of the different stocks I hold and how they're doing. We'll start with the Tfsa, which is the one we've been investing into today. So we have AQN, which is one of our smaller stocks. We only hold about $1,000 or so. Currently down -9%. So they've kind of been having a hard time the past couple years. I still think it's a good quality stock. I'm just not going super crazy with it. I think I do have some more shares inside my personal account as well. So we'll probably be building that up over time. We have ATD, which is one of my favorite Canadian stocks. I definitely want to put more money into this company. We are currently up 21%. As you guys can see, they've just done well. Once again, big growth-based company with good growing dividends. So they're kind of more growth focused, but they've done well for us. CNR, what we talked about already. Fortis is our defensive utilities company. So this is a company with a established dividend yield. They're kind of that traditional dividend stock a lot of people think about. Decent yield, decent growth, and decent dividend growth, but nothing too crazy. They're kind of sit in the middle. Like they're in between a growth and a dividend stock, kind of that traditional dividend stock that people talk about. We have HYLD we already talked about. We have Severia Corp, which is on -2%. This is a stock I might get rid of eventually, since it has been going up and down a lot, and I don't like stocks that are like that. It's also kind of more of a stock I bought during the pandemic to see if I could kind of get some good gains, and we did initially, but I kind of held it, and I don't know what I want to do with it. I just think it's kind of really doesn't fit the portfolio, so I might take it and put it into something else, maybe something a little bit more better quality, something that's a little bit less jumpy around over the place. We'll just have to wait and see. Next we have Telus, which is a telecommunication company, up 18%. We have TD, which is up 31%. TD is my favorite bank stock, and they've done really well. And then we have our ETFs that kind of basically are honestly our main investments. These stocks are just for fun and to see if I can have some fun and kind of grow and kind of customize my portfolio a little bit here and there. But honestly, the main part of the investing is VDY and VFE. VDY is up 20%. And VFE is down -1% since the US markets took a big hit, and that's the Tfsa. Take a peek at the personal account. So a lot of the same stocks here. Personal account is a little bit newer, so the gains will be a little bit less, generally speaking, or they should be theoretically. AQN is down -1%. I guess it depends on how the stock was trending, but we have AQN, we have ATD again, still doing well. Here we have some differences, which is Canadian National Resources. This is our gas and oil exposure, up 13%. CNR once again, HYLD. Here we have Manulife. We do hold Manulife in our ETFs, but I did buy some individual shares here, currently down -1%. Power Corp down -11%. I've been buying this. This would be a good stock to buy right now, I firmly believe. So when we do buy stuff for the personal account again, maybe I'll buy some Power Corp. Telus once again, TD, and then VDY and VFE. And you guys can see these stocks we've already talked about. And as we go towards the end of the video, we'll talk about the dividend payments that we got. We did get some dividends towards the end of April as well as the beginning of May. I talked about last week how we did get tons of dividends for April. April was a pretty good month for us. As you guys can see, lots of big dividend payments here coming in for April. Towards the end, we did get a dividend from POW, which is Power Corp of Canada, $4, $4.77. I guess just under $5 for that dividend. And then we got our big dividends from TD, our big quarterly dividends from TD. So the personal account gave us $20.56, and then the Tfsa gave us just under $30 in dividends as well. So it's about $50 or so from TD. So that was a nice dividend payment that we got. And the other thing we're talking about is going to be the monthly dividend income. So this is the spreadsheet where I track the monthly dividend income since we first started the portfolio way back in the beginning of 2020. It's been quite a while now, as you guys can see, and I've been kind of growing the spreadsheet. It's pretty simple. It's a basic spreadsheet. I just take the month, right? I take the month, and then towards the end of the month, I just add up the dividends and I stick it in here. pretty simple stuff. And you guys can see, obviously, it's just for learning purposes. It's to inspire you guys to see how investing can grow and dividend investing can grow. And it also keeps me on track. And when I need some inspiration or a gentle reminder to keep going, and what I'm doing is working, I kind of look at this sheet, and it's always nice to review it on a weekly basis. So we can see how things have been growing pretty steady in terms of dividend income. This doesn't include stock growth, so just point that out there. It's kind of complicated with stock growth because stocks are always going up and down. It's kind of hard to track, at least reliably. So what I do is I take the dividends, and because dividends I can track, and they do, generally speaking, they're pretty consistent, and they do guarantee growth over time, I can feel good about that growing, right? It's kind of like more of a mental thing, but it's kind of a cool thing, and it helps me out a lot. So April, this number right here, this black number is my portfolio. The blue number is my partner's portfolio that she's been building out. So we have $336 from my portfolio. Then her portfolio was a total of $364 we got in dividends. And then April so far, I got $50.37. That was those TD payments I talked about. So that's there as well. So already $50. This month will probably be a little bit less for April. We'll just have to wait and see. But I know some of our bigger ETFs aren't paying out their quarterly dividends, so it might be closer to like $100 to $200, something around those range, for dividends for this month. And then total dividends, all the months added up together, that's 29 months. It's quite a bit. We're almost on 3 years now. It's absolutely crazy. I guess 2.5 years-ish or so. Is $2,669. So the dividends are starting to add up slowly, but it's getting there finally. And then we have the graph here that shows the dividend growth for the years. You people who need visual learners, such as myself, we can see the dividend growth. Some pretty big spikes for the quarterly payments because VFE pays a dividend, and we have so much of our portfolio in VFE. We're always going to see those big quarterly spikes, but we should see steady growth overall in these smaller months as well. And we've kind of seen that steady growth. So it's been pretty sweet. So that's a quick little update on the dividends for you guys. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed the video, once again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you guys liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you guys as quickly as possible. But anyways guys, hope you guys are having yourself a good week. I hope the weather is nice. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and bye bye.